After playing games for over 100 years, I think I've got a solid understanding of what separates a good game from a truly great game. You might argue that there are lots of factors that would label a game as legendary, but I've got the perfect recipe for you. And this applies to everything: video games, board games, sports, even esports. The principles are universal. Now listen carefully as I break this recipe down into 5 parts. The foundation of any great game is mechanics. They need to feel satisfying, intuitive, and rewarding to master. Take Hollow Knight's pogo mechanic for example. For those who are not familiar with the mechanic, it's when you can get an air boost when hitting something below you, like Mario bounces off of enemies. This mechanic is easy to perform, jump and slash downward, but suddenly you realize you can bounce on enemies and hazards to reach areas way earlier than intended, or skip entire game sections. That mechanic is really fun, but most importantly, it's exploitable in creative ways and makes the player feel satisfaction when mastering it. The platformer game Celeste also used a simple mechanic, jump and dash, and built an entire game around it. With careful and precise level design, they iterated on this mechanic, enriched it and perfected it. A great game takes a mechanic and lets players stretch it, push it to the limit and master it. Without balance, a game collapses and can feel frustrating. In chess, both players start on equal footing, the same pieces, the same board, the same chances. That symmetry is why the game has survived for centuries. But balance doesn't always mean fair. In video games, it often means a good difficulty curve. Dark Souls is renowned to be brutally hard, but it's also fair. Every enemy has a pattern, every obstacle has a solution. And even if you are a more casual player, you can still grind or summon allies to overcome challenges. A great game gives everyone a chance to play on their terms, while still rewarding those who push deeper. Games need rules. Rules give structure. They tell us what's possible and what's not. They help us comprehend the game and analyze it within specific boundaries. That's how conversation comes into fruition. But there's a fun part. The best games know how to bend or even break their own rules or patterns. Take chess again. The king can only move one square, except when castling. Suddenly he leaps 2 spaces and the rook jumps across. It adds flavor and makes the game more dynamic. Breaking the rules or patterns can be really impactful. Imagine opening chest in an exploration game and always being rewarded with treasure, but that one time the chest is a mimic and it jumps to attack you. This creates an unexpected feeling that, when done right, delivers a refreshing sensation and becomes memorable. Now, this one's underrated. A great game isn't just fun to play, it's also fun to watch. That's how esports thrive. Millions tune in to watch League of Legends, Counter-Strike or Street Fighter tournaments, even if they're never or rarely played the games themselves. Sports figured this out centuries ago. Most people don't play pro football, but they watch it religiously every Sunday. It's a show that provides entertainment and magnetizes people to watch and discuss. These principles apply to single-player games as well, since millions of people tune to their favorite streamers to watch a game that they like, whether it's casual playthroughs, competitive play or speedruns. A game that's fun to watch creates a bigger audience, more community discussion and an energy that keeps it alive way longer. Finally, let's talk about content. When a game thrives on the previously mentioned principles, well, naturally the audience will want more of it. You know that quality is reassured, so now you deliver quantity. Hollow Knight added tons of extra content with DLCs and challenges, pantheons and map expansions. Chess may have not changed in 500 years, but more content comes from the books, the analysis, the opening theory, the YouTube breakdowns. Players never run out of material to study, new openings, mid-game theory and puzzles, which is what keeps the game alive. Content is what keeps players hungry, engaged and evolving long after the first playthrough. Anyway, that's my 5 points. Just take them, throw them into the pot, shuffle them and you create something legendary. Of course, it's much simpler in theory than in practice. In the end, it's all about materializing your inspiration, and that's what truly matters as a game developer, I believe. Speaking of game development, Astra Feeding Stars has a Discord server. Join now to connect with players and developers. Thanks for watching.